And we are live here for that gold medal match. It's been an anticipated one. It's the SACS versus the OJ Eagles. Remember, they drew 14 all in the pool games. So this is also a grudge match for the OJ Eagles. This is a repeat final of that 2022 Curry Cup. And with me, we got Blaine Spitholt. My name is Jason Viking Friedman.
Hi guys, thank you so much for joining us here. What a treat we are in here for today. Round 2 here of Clash of Titans. Of course, the OJ Eagles, as Jason said, met up with the SACS men in the pool stages, drawing that game at 14 goals apiece. We had some big showings in that game from Nardis Bardenos getting 4 goals to his name. And then there were 2 other players, I believe, who got 3 goals each, one being Etienne Leroux for the OJ Eagles and the other being Mr. Nick Walker for SACS there, the number 7. That man has a violent finish from the outside. I'm really interested to see how the OJ men and the SACS men decide to try and adjust their game plan against each other. Of course, we're treated to the 2 of the best centre forwards we have in South Africa here in Nardis Bardenos and Devon Card. So really, it's going to be a very physical game, very up and down, and I'm so excited.
And then, of course, we just had Etienne's team in the finals. They walked away with that win there. However, there was a yellow card. And then directly after that, a red card, as Etienne was giving some of the refs grief here. Do you think that's going to play on him mentally, or do you think he's going to be checked and ready for this one?
Etienne is a man who is very vocal as a coach, but he is a brilliant coach. I mean, he had the techniques and strategies drilled into those young ladies so well that even without his assistance, he was there sitting near me in the stands spectating that game, and his team was still able to get the win there. So a very good coach there. He is a little short-tempered in some stages, but he's able to keep his wits about him. Very experienced, very mature player. I'm sure he's going to be able to separate that game from this game and really bring his A game here to the final.
100%. And then, of course, you mentioned the big battle that's going to happen there with Devon Card as well as Nardis Bardenos. They are ginormous men, not just within the pool, but in the water polo community itself. Anything that you would like to point out from those 2 men?
They have different sitting techniques. So I'm a centre back, so I've had the privilege of wrestling against both of them obviously getting the better of me a few times. Nardis tends to sit with his back facing to you, while Devon Card faces into you and looks for that ball to his strong hand. The centre backs are going to look to address that. Of course, we also treated 2 of the best shot stoppers here at the tournament, with Dean House in goals for the OJ Eagles and Lwazi Murray for the SACS men. Of course, Lwazi captaining South Africa there at the Olympics that we got to partake in. But we are about to introduce the teams here, so please join us in that.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We want to take this opportunity to welcome you to St. David's Marathon for another exciting final. We now move on to the men's final in white caps, the OJ Eagles team. Number 1, Dean House. 2, Captain Etienne Leroux. 3, Michael Stewart. 4, Nardis Bardenos. 5, Ethan Coronan Maker. 6, Jean-Marc de Cavallo. 7, Miguel Moraes. 8, Nicholas Ryder. 10, Christopher Gray. Sorry, apologies. 9, Christopher Gray. 10, Mankoba Ungani. 11, Janko Radamay. 12, Rob Olver. 13, Luca Raya. 14, Matthew Price. 15, Aidan Quinn. The coach, Vladimir Trinik. Assistant coach, Anita Trinik. And the manager, Tabang Mani.
Geez, let them clap first, my guy.
Introducing in blue caps, the SACS All Boys team. 1, Lwazi Murray. 2, Devon Card. 3, Cameron Sutton. 4, the captain, Nick Fall. 5, Nick Jamison. 6, Nick Downs. 7, Nick Walker. 8, Jared Wingate Pierce. 9, the coach, Jesse Singer. 10, Josh Faber. 11, Seth Anyama. 12, Matt Stockforth. 13, Niall Wheeler. Introducing the referees for the men's final, Max Gerasimov and Garen Gainsford. Good luck to both teams. Once again, 2 timeouts allowed per team, 5 penalties if required, and the game is 4 quarters of 8 minutes stop. Good luck to both teams.
Mirage there on the mic, just giving us the rules. As you heard, it's going to be 8 minutes for chuckers. It's going to be an exciting one as the men all high-five each other, and we're going to get ready for the start. It's going to be an absolute banger of a game. Mikasa, our official game ball here in this gold medal match, the final between OJ Eagles and the SACS. OJ Eagles playing in the white caps, and then SACS playing in the light blue.
Yeah, words can't express how excited I am to see this clash again. Round 1 was end to end. Both keepers there in the first game putting on a show. Of course, in the pool stages, Vladimir Trinik putting a lot of trust with the young goalkeeper there, Luka Rajak. It looks like he's going to trust the youngster in goal again. He had an absolute screamer in that pool stages. Okay, I beg your pardon, the whole OJ side has just jumped into the water now, so this may be a little team talk. So I think Dean Haas will be starting in goals, the more experienced goalkeeper, but I would not be surprised if Vlado went for the youngster, has proving his worth the entire tournament. We saw so many exclusions in the first game, with a lot of it being screens and work on the transition there to get the extra man. So we're going to be looking to see a lot of that happening. Also a lot of structured play once the whole team goes back and forth. 2 of the fittest sides here in the tournament. The SACS men going to be looking for the counter-attack presence with Niall Wheeler. And we're going to be seeing just all-round rapid ball movement from the OJ men. So very excited to see how that pans out. Thank you so much for joining us.
And just to give you a little bit of a recap, remember the SACS men in that chucker, their first chucker in the first game, were 6-0 up. So look for them to get a nice fast start here once again. Do you think the fitter side is possibly the OJ Eagles, seeing that they came back from 6-0 down to get back into this one?
Yeah, it's a bit tough because the OJ men were able to pull back a 6-goal deficit, right? But the SACS men were able to create the 6-goal deficit. So that score at the end of the second chucker in that game ended at 7-7. So although the SACS men were able to create a 6-goal advantage, the OJ men were able to close that in one chucker in the same amount of time. So I'm not sure if we can look at that as a statistic to compare the fitness of the two sides, but rather the attacking threat and the mentality of both sides to be able to put on a dominant performance. Again, both teams able to choose and switch on between what is required, what isn't required. It's just going to be treated such a great game here. I cannot believe it.
And first up here are the OJ Eagles looking for a shot here. Nothing here at the moment. On the left-hand side, Rodda looking, he shoots over the bar, she goes. And joining us here in the commentary booth is Stevie Wonder. How are you feeling for this one?
Oh, I'm still a bit shaken after that girls' final. Absolute clutch goal at the end there, but when I regain my composure here, really excited to see these two teams go at it, as we see an early exclusion there on Nicholas Rodda against Dev Card. Dev Card probably still the best player in the country at the moment. It's going to take a mammoth effort from the OJ Eagles to keep him quiet in this game.
Anima on the ball here, moving to Stopforth. Looking on the top here, Wingate Pierce slotting that ball into the top right-hand corner. That man has been putting shots away all tournament. Incredible work there by the SACS men to get their first goal of the game.
SACS number 8 gets the goal there.
Just can't buy that kind of experience. The 40-year-old there showing us he knows exactly where that ball needs to go. Puts it away without any worries. And we're off to a fast start here. SACS early on in the first minute, they're up.
And here we have the OJ Eagles on the ball now. Do you think they're going to be working that hole a little bit more than they did in the first game?
I think both teams rely heavily on their centre forward there, but it seems the SACS men implementing the drop down again. I think both teams will be implementing a drop. Nardis Badenhorst returning the favour, getting the extra men there, for, the extra man for OJ Eagles, and them finding Jean-Marc de Carvalho there on the left post and putting that ball under the left arm of Lwazi Muddy with a bounce shot into the right-hand side of the cage. The OJ Eagles responding better in this game than they did in the first game, where the SACS men were able to take a 6-0 lead, and we are at 1 goal apiece.
Brilliant little goal there. Nice movement of the ball. Steve, you think the OJ Eagles are going to allow the SACS to get that early, quick start again, or do you think it's going to be a lot closer? Steve's just joking a little bit there. He's back.
Yeah, I think we can definitely expect this to be a cagey affair all the way through. I don't think either side's going to get out too much of a lead here. It's going to be a ding-dong battle. To see the connection there between Etienne Leroux and Jean-Marc de Carvalho. They've been playing together for over 20 years here, and they just know each other like the back of their hands. De Carvalho knowing that if he pulls out on that post, the pass will be there, and we saw them execute on that.
Etienne Leroux with plenty water here on the right-hand side, as we got a couple of men. Rodder driving into the hole there. Big shooting range here. He takes it, but Samurai Lwazi saves that one.
Ethan Baker there occupying the centre space there, coming up nice and high as he always does to have that shot. It looked like Lwazi Muddy got a hand to that, but that I believe was our angle. That hit the upright and went out, so the ball in favour of the SACS men. Devon Card working very hard in the hole here, getting Rourke over his first exclusion of the game. SACS men man up again. The centre forwards putting on a dominant display early on in this game, but we knew that was coming. Stop forth on the ball here. Back to Anima.
Ball across to Niall Wheeler. He shoots, but he's on his back. Not the best pass there to him from Nick Walker. Unfortunately, a little bit behind him, which just threw him off balance as he got out to create that shot. And easy one there for the OJ Eagles to defend. A loose pass there from Dean House gives the ball right back to the Old Boys.
And the Old Boys here now with an opportunity. 3-on-3 at the moment. No one coming back to help Wingate. Got an option here on the right-hand side.
Seb Anima on the ball. Another wave coming through with Nick Walker, the sniper rifle himself. He's sitting here on 7 meters, no pressure being applied. Mikey Stewart's going to have to close this man down or he will punish you. And he has found the strong arm there of Miguel Moraes, who was on the back of Devon Card. Great work for him to be fighting against such a strong man and keep an arm up on defense. Janku Rademeier here speeding up the left-hand side of the pool. We're looking for an exclusion with Ethan Baker in the middle here, not getting anything off Nick Walker. Rademeier looking for some options across the pool.
Miguel Moraes there on the right-hand side. He's going to look. He's got lanes to Stewie.
I've been really impressed how SACS have managed to get Devon Card open, as we see Janku Rademeier having a crack. Etienne Leroux looking for the ball in the hole there. He had a little bit of space. Probably a little bit if they put it in, but another strong save from Lwazi Muddy, although I think they've given the ball to them. I could have sworn he got a left arm on that.
Maybe it's just our angle or it's our old age here, Stevie.
Niall Wheeler driving down to the left-hand side there, getting a pass from Wingate Pierce, only drawing an ordinary foul against Mikey Stewart. Dev Card here catching a break, and Nick Downs working his way into the pool. SACS really spoiled for choice with the size of the centre forwards. They have both very skilled. Seb Anima here, putting that ball into the top left-hand corner with a bounce shot cross cage, beating Dean House in goal there. The SACS men regaining their lead. The score stands at 2-1, just over half-time in this first quarter.
Halfway, I think he meant. Seb Anima, the number 11 here for SACS, getting that goal. Mikasa, our official game ball here in the final of the Gauteng Invitational. And this production brought to you by ItsHappening.Africa.
One too many players in the pool here, so a bit of a false start on this possession. But Nick Walker getting a rest. Got the hook there from the bench. Badenhorst back in the pool. Looks for both teams to rotate their centre forwards regularly here, looking for some explosive work from the likes of Downs, Card and Badenhorst. Here's Mike Stewie on the right-hand side. They're going to give him space to shoot, as Etienne Leroux looks to get one off, but that's well blocked. I believe that was Jerry Wingate Pierce.
We see Faber here in the pool now. He's on that right-hand side of the pool. And then Singer, the coach, number 9, he's sitting at the centre-back position at the moment. The playmaker, sending over to Wingate, man with all the experience. Not a great little pass there at all, apologizing for that one.
Now Wheeler unable to beat the block of Mikey Stewart there. OJ Eagles in possession here with Ethan Corndon Baker finding Etienne Leroux on the left-hand side. This man will shoot all day long and he will get his goal. Don't you worry. Moving the ball to the right-hand side with Mikey Stewart. Back to Leroux. Janku Rademacher got half a meter of space on the left here with Jesse Singer, but that shot there from Etienne only finding a strong hand there from Josh Faber. Possession now in the SACS boys goalkeeper's hand with Loazi Mari finding coach Jesse Singer on the right-hand side.
And of course, Josh Faber in the pool here. We know he's one of the top goal scorers. Do you think he's going to make a difference here?
I think Josh Faber is definitely one to watch in this game. It's deadly from 7 or 8 meters, so they'll look to work him into it as the game unfolds. But really impressed so far with the hands from the SACS boys on their blocks. 4 shots coming through, and they've all been blocked so far. As we see Jerry Wingate Pierce having another go from the 8 meters out. This time House getting a nice left arm onto that, turning it over the crossbar.
Park in the house, as we said earlier on. That is Dean House in goals there. And another opportunity here for the SACS with a fresh 20. Singer here, the number 9. He's got option again on the left-hand side there. Wingate Pierce and a reversal here.
Reversal in the hole there and an exclusion against, I believe it is number 9, Jesse Singer there on the transition. Janku Rademacher showing us his propeller here. The speedboat himself, one-on-one with Loazi Mari. One big ball, putting it under his arm. OJ Eagles have equalized again. Well done there from Janku Rademacher, and great work from OJ to counter-attack so aggressively on that turnover.
I love catching people off guard, yeah. Throwing the mic to Steve, and Steven's like, wait, what? And Kia, movement that inspires. They sponsored all our traveling teams' cars to get them all on time. Yeah, that is Kia, movement that inspires. And SACS now with the ball again. All leveled up here, 2:12 on the clock, and it is 2-2. If you've just tuned in, our SACS men are in the blue caps, and then our OJ Eagles in that white cap.
Wingate Pierce drawing a foul outside the 6 here against Mikey Stewart, trying to play the second hole with Nick Downs on the left-hand side, playing the ball back here to coach Jesse Singer. Wingate Pierce almost initializing a drive there, but Jesse almost giving him the ball, and he stopped because he saw the contact with Jesse. The ball slipping into the hole there to try and find Niall Wheeler, but Rourke Olver up to the task, making a great steal there in the centre-back position. And youngster Matthew Price in the water here for the OJ Eagles in the number 14 cap, giving the ball up to Mikey Stewart on the right side here. He has got 2 meters on Nick Downs. He has also got a rocket on him. Mikey Stewart has seen him. He is open here in the middle. Is he going to be able to bury this? Unfortunately not. He finds the safe hands of Loazi Mari there in goal. What a presence both keepers are in the cage here.
Without a doubt, 2 of the best keepers in the country at the moment. That is House as well as Loazi. And easily done there for the OJ Eagles as they get possession once again. And they got Nardis sitting back there. And we have Singer on top of Nardis. Do you think Singer has the strength for Nardis?
I think it's a bit of a mismatch there. I'm not sure there are many players in the country that have the strength to mark Nardis. So we see a big drop coming down. 5-on-5 on attack here, so top 2 down. Dev Card dropping off Mangoba Bungane. Ngoba has a shot. That's off the woodwork. He's going to have another opportunity here. 20 seconds more of possession here for the Eagles.
Mangoba, the Viper there, taking a shot, but nothing of it.
Finding Matt Price here on the left-hand side. Mangoba calling for the ball on the right-hand wing there. Trying to slip a ball quickly into Nardis Barnos. Looking for a turn there. He stopped to look at the referee for the call. Jesse Singer playing for that initial steal. But Nardis had turned him and he did not continue playing that centre forward. Will look to finish those chances going forward. Unfortunately, nothing coming of that for the OJ Eagles. A second pass into the hole there in as many attacks from Jerry Wingate Pierce. They're looking for Niall Wheeler. Niall Wheeler working very, very hard there and getting a penalty, I believe, against Mr. Rourke Olver.
Second major there against Olver. He's going to have to be careful now.
12 seconds remaining, and none other than the man, Faber himself, number 10, steps up to that 5 meter. Let's see if we can see some costume. You think we're going to get a nice one here?
This man can sink a ball from anywhere. I'm sure he's going to come up nice and high, get Dean House to try and take up as much energy in his legs as he can. And here we have Josh Faber putting his Cozzy out of the water and putting the ball into the top net of the top right-hand corner, I beg your pardon, of the goal. What a shot. The SACS men again regaining their lead. Nothing goalkeeper Dean House can do about that shot.
3-2 the score here, and Dean House had a couple of words there. I'm not too sure what or who it was for, but Dean House not happy there in goal.
Josh Faber moving on to 26 goals there, tiring Jono Swanepoel at third place for our tournament top scorer. They're all chasing Matt Niza, who's got 34, so it's going to take a mammoth effort from Josh Faber if he's going to catch Niza out ahead. But that's all from the first chukker. SACS go into the second with a 1-goal lead. We'll be back after this short break.
And we're back here for the second. It is a close game at the moment, 3-2 the score, and just ending that with a 5 meter. Faber burying it in the top left corner of Dean House, and we're going to see now who's going to get first possession. Who's your money on this one?
First possession, I'm going to go in favor of Janku Rademacher. He is lightning fast, but I wouldn't put anything past Nick Walker there. That man, also an absolute speedboat. He's been so impressive this whole weekend. The score standing at 3-2 if you take note of the majors. OJ there having 3 majors against them, and the SACS men having 3 goals for them, and the SACS men having 2 majors against them and 2 goals for OJ. So seeming like every time there's an extra man, the teams are able to beat each other. Otherwise, they're just going blow for blow, cancelling each other out. A very hard foul here on the perimeter. Nick Rodda on the ball, Mr. Elastic Shoulder. Miguel Moraes here on the left-hand side looking for an option. One big ball, putting it towards the top left-hand corner, meeting Loazi Madi's strong right arm there, conceding a 2 meter for the SACS men, but great work there from Miguel. One balk looking for some options. No options on here. I'm going to take the shot back to Miguel Moraes here. Rodda on the ball again, back to Moraes looking for Janku Rademacher, the speedster on the right-hand side. He's not shy to shoot, and that is why he put that in to the left-hand corner of the goal. Goalkeeper Loazi Madi coming over with 2 hands to cover the close corner, and Janku with his body positioning having sent Loazi the wrong way and slotting that into the bottom left corner.
Yeah, a little bit of miscommunication there between Madi and Nick Walker on the left-hand side of the SACS defense there. Nick Walker needed to be covering that inside post to allow Madi to cover the rest of the goals. Madi feeling that that wasn't covered, that's why he'd shifted across all the way. Rademacher spotting the gap and putting it away.
So a brilliant goal there from the number 11 in the white cap there for OJ Eagles. Walker here, and sending it over to the man in the number 12 cap.
Ball trying to go into the hole there from Stopforth, only finding the hand of LaRue. Great body positioning and awareness from that man. Dean House on the ball, using his hand as a visor to look up the pool. Again, finding LaRue, but we've got Janku Rademacher speeding up the right-hand side with Nick Rodda up the middle looking for a pass. LaRue opting to slow it down, feeding the ball to the left-hand side with Rourke Olver, finding Janku on the right. Back to LaRue at the top here. Condon Baker on the left-hand side. He's given a high pass. He's got so much space here, and he's going to shoot that ball straight into the hands of Lwazi Madi. The rebound landing in front of Nicholas Rodda, who sinks the ball past Lwazi. He can only stop the first shot there, unable to do anything from 2 meters against the goal scorer in Nicholas Rodda.
Number 8 there for the OJ Eagles, getting himself onto the score sheets there. Bit of an error defensively, not cleaning up that rebound after Lwazi saved it.
Yeah, fortuitous, but you make your own luck. He worked hard to get into that position and duly put the ball away. A good play from Nick Rodda.
The OJ Eagles men taking the lead for the first time, I believe it is, in this game. The score now in their favor at 4-3, responding very quickly in the second chukka, as they did in the first time they met in this tournament. The ball here to Faber, back to Stopforth here. He's given a lot of space, looking for Anima on the left-hand side, trying to play Wheeler in the second hole there. He's cleared off Miguel Moraes. He's looking to attack the close corner, but Dean House with 2 hands in that top corner, keeping his team ahead of the SACS men there. And we have got a counter-attack with Rourke Olver up the left-hand side for the OJ men.
So we talk about the sun in Dean House's face. Remember, they are going to be swapping sides. That could play a factor in Lwazi later on. Yeah, we have Rodda on the ball now, and Olver looking into the hole. Beautifully done. What a shot there. The man in the number 2 cap. It is none other than
Etienne Leroux. Some questions before the game about whether he could keep his temperament after a very hot and heavy final we just had on the women's side, and he is showing here that he can do just that. The OJ men now with a 2-goal advantage here, the score standing at 5-3.
Etienne walking past the commentary box now, I'm very happy with that. Gets a high five from Rourke Olver. Looks like the OJ Eagles have brought their composure for this matchup.
looking very composed and clinical. They are. That's the OJ Eagles in the white caps. If you've just tuned in, our SACS men are in the blue caps. And we got the man Cam Sugden here in the pool now.
Nick Downs pulling Michael Stewart into the hole. Early shot from Josh Faber. And Cam Sugden gets kicked out for his efforts there.
They're calling a timeout for the OJ men, wanting to make sure they get this man up goal in the, well, goal, I beg your pardon, but the timeout called. Let's see what changes he's going to make the most of this chance.
And I do believe, I don't know if it's true or not, rumors, Vlad hanging up the clipboard.
Vlad is hanging up the clipboard. We're struggling to find a replacement for him. He brings years and years of experience, obviously being involved in the Croatian setup and then being the heart and soul of South African water polo for so long. No one really ready to step into his shoes just at this stage. Nick Rodda was putting his hand up, but he's been snapped up by Kersney, so he's heading off to the Midlands and KZN. So we've still got Vlad on the side of the pool for now, but he's taken a junior role at St. John's at the moment. It still remains to be seen what's going to happen with the OJ Eagles as the year plays out.
The OJ men here are going to resume their possession with Dean House on halfway, giving the ball to the Mr. Elastic Shoulder with Nicholas Rodda, finding Nardis Badenhorst on the left-hand side, back to Rodda on top left point, down to the lefty Mike Stewart on the right-hand side. Leroux on the ball now, one big book, back to Stewart using the new, you cannot be inside the 2-meter rule if you're outside 2 meters of the post. Leroux afforded tons of space on the right-hand side. You cannot let that man have more than 3 books or he will punish you, and he slots that cross cage into the top left-hand corner. The OJ Eagles putting on a very strong display here in the second chukka.
Etienne Leroux, the number 2, getting in on the sheets once again.
Yeah, it seems like the OJ Eagles here have spotted a weakness on Lwazi Madi. That's the second cross cage from the right-hand side in the bottom left-hand corner. Lwazi's going to have to adjust his positioning there to make sure that they don't exploit that anymore in this game.
100%. We got the big man card. He's in the pool now. He's going to drive straight to the hole.
The ball with with Nick Walker here, slipping the ball into the hole with Devon Card. He has drawn an ordinary foul there from Janko Rademacher. Seb Anima on the perimeter. Jerry Wingate Pierce, one big book, and rifling that ball off the right upright. Niall Wheeler there able to win possession again on the right wing. Seb Anima on the ball again, looking for fellow lefty Cam Sugden, playing it out to Jared Wingate Pierce again, slipping the ball into Devon Card, working up against Janko Rademacher. This time Janko Rademacher is sent to the sin bin. Very good work there from Dev Card, earning another exclusion here in this game.
3-3 setup here for the SACS, going into a 4-2 now. Cam Sugden playing on the right-hand side. Seb to Cameron. Big opening here for Nick Walker. Nick Walker passes into, what a brilliant pass there, Seb, and then to Wheeler, sending that into the back of the nets.
The SACS men not taking that 3-goal deficit, lying down, responding with a goal of their own on that extra man. Seb Anima with great vision there to spot Niall Wheeler open on the far post and giving that ball to him on the hand, and he makes no mistake putting that into the bottom left-hand corner. The deficit now being decreased to 2 goals. SACS men by no means down and out here. These two teams are slugging it out, 1 for 1, 2 for 2, and 3 for 3. Let's see how we keep going through this.
It's like watching two heavyweights fight it out there. The number 13, that's Niall Wheeler getting that goal.
Mikey Stewart on the right-hand side looking for Miguel Moraes on the left, playing it back to Mikey Stewart. Good into passing here from the fetchers, looking again for Miguel Moraes. We have 9 seconds left on the shot clock, looking for a wrap shot there, beating his blocker Seb Anima, but Lawadi Maji there in goal, able to get a hand to that and flick it over the crossbar, conceding a 2-meter there for the SACS men. Matthew Price playing the ball out to Miguel Moraes, back to Jean-Marc de Carvalho. Mikey Stewart, one big balk. Back to Miguel Moraes. This time makes no mistake, putting that into the bottom left-hand corner. Loazi Madi there asking for a stronger block for the near corner there from Mr. Seb Anima. It seems he has not got a bit of faith in some of his blockers on the near post, since the OJ men have scored 2 goals on the cross cage, meaning Loazi's not trusting his blockers. So either he needs to talk to them more and they need to cover their corner, or they need to listen to him more. Either way, they cannot keep conceding goals like this with a mistrust between the goalkeeper and the blockers. But the score deficit increased now to 3 goals. Standing at 7 goals to 4. Mr. Nick Walker playing the ball out to Jared Wingate Pierce on the left-hand side for play to resume. Nick Down's going to look to work against Ethan Baker on the left wing there. Wingate Pierce drawing the ordinary foul from Mikey Stewart, playing himself back to sniper rifle. Nicholas Walker, Seb Anima, the lefty here. And Ethan Baker is sent to the sin bin there. Nicholas Walker getting the better of him. Jerry Wingate Pierce afforded too much space here. Seb Anima on the right-hand side. One big book, another to the other lefty in Cameron Sugden. Seb Anima again looking for Nick Walker. Miguel Moraes half press on him. Jared Wingate Pierce bounces the ball into the top left-hand corner. Clinical finish there from the veteran himself. The score deficit once again decreased to 2 goals.
And beautiful stuff there, as you saw. They were working the ball nicely around the hole there, keeping the ball nice and dry. And then, of course, that man, Jared Wingate Pierce, number 8, getting that into the back of the goals. But, man, what a game we have on our hands here. Of course, the previous goal there going to Miguel. And, again, just like you mentioned, Lawazi struggling a little bit there, trust issues in the back there. They cannot afford that at the moment. Nicely set up here once again for the OJ Eagles. Rada as playing like cement, the man with the elastic shoulder. Put into the hole, but red. And still with the OJ Eagles.
The ball there from Nicholas Rodder looking for Etienne Leroux, pulling second hole against Cam Sugden. Ordinary foul there called by the referees. Mikey Stewart afforded a lot of space on the perimeter. 2 big box and rifling that off the crossbar. Ball stays in play, but Cameron Sugden first to respond to that ball, securing possession for the SACS men. Loazi calling for the ball so he can make a long pass. We have got Seb Anima up on the right-hand side and Niall Wheeler. No early fetch from the SACS men, so that counter-attack is going to be turned into a 5-on-5 here with Matt Stopforth coming up the pool. Wingate Pierce looking for a foul here from Etienne Leroux. Not getting it. He has got it now. Etienne Leroux almost winning that ball. He is allowed to play himself and shoot. Is Wingate Pierce. Stopforth again on the ball. Back to Wingate Pierce. Not able to add to his 2 goals in this game. A big block coming in there from Ethan Baker. Possession now in favor of the OJ Eagles.
Miguel here, he's got plenty of water in front of him at the moment. On the right-hand side of the pool, you got Rademacher on the left side. And then, of course, Stewie there moving into the left side with the number 3 cap. Janko Rademacher back to Miguel. Janko looking. Not a great pass there by Janko, but still plenty time here, 7 seconds. and takes the shot there, but Lwazi equal to the task and stifling that attack from the OJ Eagles.
Might have heard Nardis Bardenhorst from the side of the pool saying, Murom Yanku, asking for him to shoot, put it in the back of the net, but that was middle third of the goal, and Lwazi Madi able to make a comfortable save.
Seb Anima here with the ball in hand, the number 11 on his cap. He's got a shooting lane. Will he take it? No, he doesn't. Jared Winger into the hole here. And kick out there. Dev Card doing a great job in the hole.
Getting Nicholas Rodder sent to the sin bin again. I believe that is his second major of the game. Rodder on 2 exclusions, as well as Rourke Olver. Those are 2 of the OJ Eagles' dominant shooters. We're going to hope to see them for the rest of this game. But Matt Stopforth trying to beat Etienne Leroux on his near post block there, but a solid block coming in. Jerry Wingate Pierce trying to find cross cage top bins. Unfortunately, only finding the crossbar. Swimming back here to halfway to regain possession for his side. Nick Walker also coming back here to be in a shooting lane. Stopforth on the ball, looking for Niall Wheeler on the left side. Stopforth, Walker, 2 balks, 3 balks. Finding the hand there of Dean House, but there was a reversal beforehand. I'm not sure who it was against. A good kick-off here. Seb Anima there earning the reversal was against Seb Anima, I beg your pardon. Rourke Olver there counter-attacking off Seb Anima, giving him a kick for good measure. More of a push-off than anything malicious, but a kick nonetheless. The OJ Eagles going to play for a 5-on-5 here, telling Ethan Corndon Baker to come back and cover. Rourke over here, afforded too much time to shoot, firing that ball towards the cross cage, finding the block of Matt Stopforth, which ricochets then into the top left-hand corner. Lwazi was already on his way to cover that cross cage shot, and the deflection then beating him towards the left corner.
Rourke Olver there, the number 12, getting that deflection and getting a goal to his name. That's number 12. Rourke Olver for the OJ Eagles.
A great shooting there from Rourke Olver. He's got a cannon on him. Pace of that came out of his hand, gave the defenders very little time to react. That's unfortunately why the block there from Stopforth ended up being a deflection, and Lwazi not able to jump back to his right-hand side as he was moving to the left.
Then big things expected here from the number 14, the youngster, Matthew Price.
Ball into the hole there from Wingate Pierce, looking for Niall Wheeler, who has somehow squeezed that past the near corner of Dean House. He has just threaded the needle there. Niall Wheeler making a nuisance of himself. I believe that is his second goal of the game. This man making an attacking threat of himself in this game.
Yeah, you can see the difference foul trouble makes there. Rourke Olver on 2 majors already, wants to stay in the game, so made sure he didn't go hands down on Niall Wheeler as he turned, which gave him just that little bit of extra space he needed to get the shot off and squeeze it in at the far corner.
Jean-Marc here in the playmaker position. He's got options here on the left-hand side with the youngster Matt Price, as well as the Viper Mangoba on the left. Mangoba losing a bit of control there. Jean-Marc. Over. Mangoba again. Price. He sends it, but easily covered there by Lwazi on that near post.
That was not, in fact, covered by Lwazi. That came off the upright with an end to that chucker. We had an attempt from Lwazi Mari with a smile on his face. And with that, we come to the end of the first half with the OJ Eagles having flipped the lead on the SACS men, taking control of that game. Now sitting at 8-6 in favor of the OJ Eagles. Thank you so much for joining us here at the Gauteng Invitational, hosted at St. David's Maristananda. Coverage, statistics, and the stream and commentary all brought to you by It's Happening Africa.
And we back here, Chaka number 3. Steve always likes to call it the moving Chaka. And currently 8-6 the score, but let's look at those man-up situations. OJ Eagles 3-4-3. What are your thoughts on that, Blaine?
Absolutely clinical coming in there for the OJ men to put away all of their extra men chances. The SACS men not as thorough in their extra man situations. They have got 3 from 5. They have got 1 penalty that they slotted though as well. Very good to see the game switching so much here. It's much of a muchness for a repeat on the first game, not as intense on the score lines. In the first game, the SACS men very dominant first Chaka, the SACS men then the very dominant, beg your pardon, other way around. SACS men had a very dominant first Chaka, then the OJ had a very dominant second Chaka, and we're seeing a repeat here in this game where the SACS men were leading the first Chaka 3-2, and then OJ taking a very strong grip on the game in the second Chaka, taking the lead to 8-6. So the rest of that first meet was goal for the rest of that game. So we were only the score was drawn level at the end of that game, with Nardis Badenhorst scoring right at the end in the dying seconds of the game. So we're going to see how similar this game plays out to how that pool stage game was. We have got the ball here with Nicholas Walker, the sniper rifle finish there, 7 meters out, tucking that ball into the bottom left-hand corner, beating Rourke Olver and Dean House there, bringing the deficit down to 1 goal.
Beautiful goal there, but a great setup. It was Josh Faber and Nick Walker playing the 1-2 there at the back, as well as Cam Sugden. They were on a 3-3 setup there, and then Walker, the number 7, bearing that, getting it past Dean House.
Yeah, Dean just getting caught on the left-hand side of the goals there. Nick Walker wide awake, saw the opening and made no mistake.
These SACS men implementing the double centre-back position here. But a great ball from Miguel Moraes looking for Nardis Badenhorst in the centre there. The ball landing on Nardis Badenhorst's hand. But a major here called against, I believe it was Nicholas Walker. So a penalty in favour of the OJ men. Nick Walker getting his first major of the game.
And none other than Nardis Badenhorst, the big man, standing there at, I'm pretty sure he is standing, he's so tall, but at the 5 meter now. And beautifully done. Very interesting technique there. Only at the last second does he look to where he's shooting.
Trying not to give Lwazi Madi any opportunity to guess which way he's going. Lwazi picked the left-hand side of his goal to dive across, and Nardis put it away on the opposite side.
And here we have Nick Walker, the man who scored on the previous possession. Seb. Josh Faber. Look for Faber. He's going to be getting into this game soon, I'm pretty sure, as he's finding himself.
Pay attention here to the bottom left of the pool here. We have a huge tussle between Devon Card and Jean-Marc de Carvalho there. Devon Card coming out on top in that exchange, just getting Jean-Marc sent to the sin bin for 20 seconds. The SACS men now looking to increase their man-up conversion ratio. Seb Anima giving the ball to Josh Faber on the top. One huge block. Nick Walker looking for something here, firing that at the top right-hand corner, finding the blocking hand of Miguel Moraes. I believe that is the second or third block he has had this game. When he is right at the back, last line defense. Nick Rodder away here on the other side. Etienne Leroux finding him, and instead of allowing Nicholas Rodder to have a one-on-one, the man Seb Anima decided you're rather getting a penalty here, taking a major for himself, his first of the game. He still has 2 to spare. You will always opt for the penalty in these situations. Etienne Leroux given the opportunity now to take his penalty, looking to complete his hat-trick. What a performance so far we have seen from Etienne.
And Lwazi the Samurai unable to keep that out. He was so close, and he knows it. A little bit disappointed with his effort there. You can see it in his face as he slams the water with the ball there. But great effort there once again, as you mentioned. Is that his hat-trick? I believe that is his hat-trick. Great goal there by the number 2. Obviously, he's already got a gold medal to his name. He might just add another one.
Any questions about Etienne Leroux's temperament here have been answered. So far this game, according to our stats sheet, the man is on 3 goals, 3 blocks and a steal. Unreal performance by this man. BMT. see if it was embodied in a single human. The SACS men here now with an extra man. Etienne Leroux sent to this naughty corner for the first time this game. Nick Walker finding Cam Sugden on the top here. He's left open, and he tells us that even on Easter Sunday you can get donuts. Krispy Kreme, please sponsor me. Get them while they're hot.
And Cam Sugden obviously sees Etienne Leroux on the opposite side. He's like, well, I'm a coach too. He was in that final as well, getting the silver medal, and he decides that he's going to sink one into the back of the net. That is Cam Sugden, the number 3 for the SACS team. It is 8-10 at the moment in favor of the OJ Eagles in the white caps on the left-hand side of your screen.
Ethan Baker here carrying the ball up the middle of the pool. The SACS men with 2 people on the centre forward here. An adjusted M drop we're seeing from them. We've got a little drive coming through from Baker trying to clear that up. We've got 3 men now down on Nardus Badenhorst. Janku Rademacher looking for Miguel Moraes. Not the best pass. Miguel, one big balk, finding the right nipple of Cameron Sugden on that block. And the ball won back by the OJ men to repeat their attack. The ball is going to move from Etienne Leroux here over. He is holding the ball himself to slow down the attack, getting aware that there is 20 seconds on the clock for their new attack. 9 seconds left on the clock. He's trying to fire that through, hit the hand of Jared Wingate-Pierce, and then the head of Lwazi Muddy. And another 20 seconds for the OJ men here.
Loving the commentary here about playing the right nipple of Cam Sugden. Brilliant stuff. And what a no-looker! Brilliant shot there by Miguel, the number 7. He looked away and took that shot. No-looker goal for the man in the number 7 cap. That is Miguel, currently playing his water polo out of Club Vitória out there in Portugal.
No mistakes made there by Miguel Moraes, slotting that ball into the top left-hand corner, looking back at his own goalkeeper. I think it was Dino saying, "Are you watching this, my man?" And he put it into the top pins. Great finish, a big smile on his face, and rightly so after a finish like that in a game like this.
Beautiful goal there. Stevie, did you see that one?
Unfortunately, I missed it. Sorry.
All right, so we'll leave the excitement between Blaine and myself. Brilliant goal. And SACS, yeah. Beautiful little pass in the hole. And a reversal.
The reversal, I believe it was there against Nick Downs in the hole against Ethan Baker. The OJ men on a double man-up counter-attack. Ethan Baker coming back here. Coach Vlado Trinik there calling for the OJ men to stay at 5-on-4. They have an incredible conversion ratio with their man-up, so understandably so. The ball to Nick Rodder here, looking to the left-hand side. Matt Price was looking to cover. He's back involved in this attack. He's got such a rifle on him, and he has fired that ball off of the crossbar and down. Lwazi Muddy recovering that ball, knowing his team are man up. Niall Wheeler here on the opposite side of the pool. Open 2 big balks, 3 big balks, 4 big balks, 5 big balks, 7, 8, 9, 10. Dean Houselings, don't ever give up. What a foundation on that house he's got there. Unfortunately not able to beat the lean of Niall Wheeler there, putting that ball into the left-hand side of the goal. The score brought down to 9 goals to 11.
Dean House with an absolute endurance tank in those legs.
Yeah, that's a big moment there. A 2-goal swing, 5-on-4 situation. Unfortunately, Matt Price, the youngster, the 19-year-old, showing a bit of inexperience there. Shooting before the cover was back, and that gave the SACS Old Boys the opportunity to get one back, claw it back to a 2-goal deficit. They're very much still in this game. A lot of water polo left here.
As a coach, Stevie, what would you say to Matt Price in that one?
Just hold it up a little bit longer, allow Nick Rodder to cover back before taking that shot on. Possibly better to come skipping off the water, but he went for it on the full, allowing Lwazi Muddy to get a hand. But then we see Corridon Baker.
Unreal finish there from that man, showing us his cozzy, as he loves to do on every attempt he has in this tournament, slotting that into the top right-hand corner. No mistake made by the second centre-back that the OJ men have. I believe that is his first goal of the game. Great for him to get on to the score sheet.
And he's in the number 5 cap there for the OJ Eagles.
Yeah, the Eagles certainly have control of this game. Every time SACS are scoring, they're managing to respond straight away. SACS are going to have to find a little bit more in defense at the moment if they're going to be able to work their way back into this game.
Devon Card earning another exclusion there. Jean-Marc de Carvalho on his second major of the game. Nick, I beg your pardon, Devon Card working incredibly hard in the hole there. Now Stopforth driving very hard to the right post. They're setting the 4-on-2 for the man up. Wingate Pierce looking to combine here with Devon Card, who fires the ball off the uprights, ricocheting off Stopforth's head, landing in the possession of Mikey Stewart here. The OJ men could be on a 3-on-2 here, depending on the pace of this ball carry from Mikey Stewart. Mangoba got half of the front water there from Seb Anima, Naris Badenost.
We do apologize. We had a massive power surge here, and we lost all our comms as well as the cameras, but we are back here now. It has been an exciting game. Miguel just finished a goal on the previous possession.
That goal put away there for Miguel was a 5-on-4, a hard counter-attack coming from the OJ men. Coach Vlado Trinic was asking for them to play that 5-on-4, and they capitalized on that chance. Just before that, we had Seb Anima steaming up on a counter-attack with 3 OJ men crashing up behind him. His shot was unable to beat Dean House. Just on an update on what's just happened, Ethan Baker getting himself his second goal of the game with a sniper rifle bullet into the top right-hand corner, and it coming down off the crossbar, beating goalkeeper Loazi Murray, putting the score at 14 goals to 11. A recap again, we were continuing with that. On that, because Dean House conceded a penalty for that save on the 1-on-1, the SACS men regained possession. The ball was fed around the perimeter, found Joshua Faber on 9 meters out, who sniped it, and I mean sniped it, from 9 meters out into the toppest of top right-hand corners for the SACS men to bring another goal back there. We are back with what we are viewing now. A ball trying to find its way into the hole from Wingate Pierce, only finding an effective drop from Miguel Moraes. I believe, I'm not sure if this was before or after the break, but an update. Jean-Marc de Carvalho on 3 majors, the starting centre-back for the OJ, can no longer play in this game. So that is a big positive for the SACS men now with their 2 strong centre forwards. The OJ men, I'm going to have to rely very heavily on Ethan Baker, Corridon Baker there, but he seems to be having an absolute screamer so far, getting himself on the score sheet twice with unreal finishes. What a final we are being treated to here. The score currently at 14 goals to 11, 3 goals in it. That can swing in 1 or 2 attacks. You know, one team misses a man up, the other team goes and counters. That deficit all of a sudden, not so important, but a great game. We're really getting to watch very physical. So many of the OJ men sent to the sin bin. Of course, the main highlight of those is Jean-Marc de Carvalho on 3 majors. Not going to take a part here in the 4th chukker. We're going to keep going with our commentary here into the 4th chukker just to catch you up. We'll again apologize for the drop in coverage. We've had some weird power issues throughout the weekend, very uncharacteristic of our team, but we have got the first swim off for possession here in the 4th chukker. Number 11 against number 11, Janku Rademacher up against Seb Anima, who is going to get first possession in this chukker and try and just give out the first blow of the final quarter of the final game at the 2nd annual Gauteng Invitational Water Polo Tournament. Janku Rademacher wins the swim-off.
And of course, brilliantly done there by Janku Rademacher. The man has got some wheels on him. As you like to mention, Blaine, the bicycle, he's got that out in full force here. And of course, our OJ Eagles, they are the defending champions, and they're looking to keep that title to their name. As we see a nice little setup here by the OJ Eagles. Plenty of options all around the pool. Big shot there and great block by Wheeler. And Janku Rademacher, another fresh 20 here for the OJ Eagles. And playing Rodder back to the number 11, that is Rademacher.
Rourke over on the right hand side, playing the ball between the top triangle here on this huge drop on Naris Badenost. A drive coming through from Rademacher, finding Baker, finding Bins again. This man is on fire today, really stepping up to the plate in the absence in this 4th chukker of Jean-Marc de Carvalho. Ethan Baker, my man, stepping up to the plate, extending the lead for the OJ Eagles to 4 goals. Clinical display of shooting from him today.
Look at that big smile on the number 5's face there. He knows he scored a humdinger of a goal there for his OJ Eagles. And man, what a game. It is 15-11 here at the moment. Mikasa, our official game ball here in this gold medal match at the Gauteng Invitational. And Jared Wingate Pierce, he gets another to his name, the number 8 from SACS. What a beautiful little pass that was.
Great vision there for Nick Walker to see that Jerry Wingate Pierce had beaten Rourke over on the perimeter, driven down hard onto the left-hand post, receiving that ball at the perfect height. Wingate Pierce able to pause for half a second to draw the hands up from Dean House and putting the ball just over his head, the smallest little eye of a needle there to thread, and he managed to do it. Ethan Baker here, the man who has joined the hat-trick club in this game, on the ball, moving it to the right with Olver, back to Rodder. Olver, Baker initiating another drive. Rodder on the ball, looking for a foul from Wheeler. Oh, Wheeler showing hands. He's going to be sent to the corner here. Unfortunately, Mr. Wheels did not hear the referee's call. A timeout here called by coach Vlado Trinik. Niall Wheeler there was showing hands while Rodder was looking for the foul, and he came around the man and fouled the man in the attempt for the steal, driving hard on his counter-attack, so his head is down to get as much speed as he can, and he did not hear that the ref gave a foul in favor of the OJ men, and he is therefore sent to the sin bin. That is the first major of this game for Niall Wheeler. What a game he is also having today.
Brilliant game by Niall Wheeler. But you can say that all around the pool at the moment. I think every single player in the pool, from keeper to all the players in the pool, they are just having a fantastic game here in this final. And yes, the score is 15 to 11, I do believe, 12. And still a close one. There's still just under 7 minutes left here.
The youngsters here for the OJ side, I believe, yet to see some pool time. The likes of Christopher Gray and Aidan Quinn yet to get some pool time, but of course a very tightly contested affair. We often see Vlado Trinik put them in if their team has a 5-goal lead, is generally their strategy. So if they've got a 5-goal lead in the first chukker, which the strong side often does, then he puts his youngsters in such a tightly contested affair. He's probably going to look towards the later minutes of the game to give them some time. Nardis Bardenhorst 2 blocks on the extra man, looking to beat Lowazi Muddy on the near corner. Unfortunately, not able to beat him there. Lowazi up to the task. Josh Faber with a fetch on the right-hand side. Wheels speedboating his way up the left-hand side of the pool. The ball here to sniper rifle himself, Nick Walker. The ball to Niall Wheeler. Back to Devin Carter, who's worked so hard in the hole. And Janku Rademacher now is sent to the corner for his second major. Devin Card, again and again and again, if he gets that ball, you go to the corner. He is so powerful. Unreal. Nick Walker here on the ball, 2 big blocks, giving the ball to Seb Anima. Josh Faber, first time shot. Another top bins, finding that same corner he hits with his sniper rifle. This time, though, he was on the right-hand side, putting it into the close corner, able to beat goalkeeper there, Dean House. The deficit decreased to 2 goals now.
Josh Faber, I said he would come into this game, and here he is now. No time then right now in this final quarter. He's got 3 goals to his name now, and also joining the hat-trick club. We're going to find out how many hat-tricks there are now in just a sec.
We have got 1, 2, and 3 hat-tricks for the OJ men with Ethan Baker, Miguel Moraes, and Etienne Leroux. And on the SACS side, I believe we also have 3 hat-tricks now with Joshua Faber, Jerry Wingate-Pierce, and Niall Wheeler. That ball into the hole there, effective crash coming in from the SACS men to win possession. There we've got Niall Wheeler on his bike going up the pool. Lowazi Muddy opting not to give him that pass. Too much pressure there from the youngster Matthew Price on that cover. A good composure there from Lowazi, rather say, let's have a full possession, see if we can put this away. Nick Walker on the right-hand side looking for Jerry Wingate-Pierce. We have got Devin Card once again in hole. A reversal there called on Wingate-Pierce. Well done by Mikey Stewart to win the body positioning there. Going to play himself and carry up the pool. The OJ men are out of timeouts. The SACS men have still got 2 timeouts. So that could come into play when we are 2 goals down here. That is a very important thing to keep in mind for the rest of this game. Stewie here, normally a very avid shooter, a bit more quiet in this game, perhaps due to the presence in goal from Lowazi Muddy. But he's going to give us a shot here. Unfortunately, into the firm hands of Lowazi Muddy. Looking up the pool, finding Niall Wheeler, almost always the first man up the other side of the pool for the SACS men. What a counter-attacking threat he is. Giving the ball back here to Jared Wingate-Pierce. Cam Sugden, another lefty for the SACS men side, back on the right-hand side. Wheeler looking to pull second hole, drawing an ordinary foul there against Rourke Ulver. A flick pass to Jerry Wingate-Pierce. And Rourke Ulver sent to the sin bin here for playing the head of Niall Wheeler. That is Rourke Ulver's 3rd major of the game, so he also will not take part further in this game. He would be, I believe, one of their penalty takers if this game went to penalties, so hopefully we don't get to that. Well, the OJ men would hope we don't get to that, but we are at 2 goals deficit here. Make that 1. Cameron Sugden on the score sheet. What a finish. That is his 2nd goal of the game. Great shot from the lefty on the right wing for the SACS men.
Cam Sugden is having a phenomenal game here as well as he sinks that, the lefty, the number 3 for the SACS men, putting that into the back of the goal. But let's not forget Faber there with a beautiful little assist, seeing the space there and passing to the man on the right-hand side and into the back of the net.
Oh, I'm going to claim that one. Cam Sugden's my brother-in-law there, so one for the family there.
Steve getting involved here as we watch the OJ Eagles right out with the ball here, and Etienne Leroux passing over to Stewie. Mark Stewart.
They are looking for a ball into the hole there, but a crash implemented by the SACS men. That ball not finding the hands of Nardis Bardenos. Looking to the left here with one of our hat-trick heroes in Miguel Moraes. Back to Mikey Stewart on the right wing. Etienne Leroux on the right-hand side, looking for top corner, only meeting Loazi Mari's 2 hands on that side. A big read coming in from that young man. On the topic of majors, we have another 2 players from the OJ side in Nicholas Rodder and Janku Rademacher, also on 2 exclusions. They're going to have to be careful if they want to see the rest of this game. But Mikey Stewart with a first-time shot there into the top right-hand corner, beating fellow Saints alumni Loazi Mari at the near corner. Great finish. OJ Eagles now taking their advantage back to 2 goals.
And the number 3s here going head-to-head. That's Mike Stewart getting a goal there. Also a lefty. Loazi unable to do anything there. But what a game we have here. It is 16-14. Are we going to see a swing in the SACS favor now? Let's have a look.
Yeah, SACS chasing the game now, 2 goals down. Lots of time left, but they'll need to be the next team to score if they're going to come back and win this. Pass over from Sugden to Wheeler on the hands. He has a crack, but just sinking there a little bit, and he puts it over the top as Nick Downs there, pulling back on Mike Stewart, so he's going to get kicked out for his efforts.
And Mark Stewart, the previous possession goal scorer, he's here on the right-hand side. He's got options in Nardis Bardenos. And over to Ethan. Ethan looking around. He's got a man as in Miguel on the left-hand side. Look for a cross-cage pass. Ethan. Here goes Miguel. Miguel looking now. Miguel. Back cross-cage pass. Ethan. Ethan shoots, and over the crossbar she goes.
Unable to replicate some of the finishes he gave us earlier in this game. The SACS men still within 2 goals here. We have 3 minutes left here. This game is by no means settled. Stopforth fetching the ball there from Loazi Mari on the right-hand side. Going to look for some options here. Wheeler working very hard against Miguel Moraes in the second hole. And the pass there from Stopforth, only finding the immense legs and hand of Ethan Baker, the Eiffel Tower himself in the pool. That man essentially treads so high he could walk on water. Incredible intercept there from Ethan Baker, really stepping up to the plate for the OJ Eagles here, covering back on Niall Wheeler using the cockroach technique. So we are 5-on-5 up on the other side with the OJ Eagles. They're going to hope to get this ball into the net. Mikey Stewart, very much a confidence-based shooter who has got his goal, so he may look to go again here, looking for Janku Rademacher. Seb Anima deemed to make that steal cleanly. So Janku now and Nardis are roaching. Only Nardis now. Janku, of course, the speedboat, able to make up 3 meters and half a second with the efficiency and speed of his stroke. But the SACS men are man up here. They're going to look to play it. We've got so many voices coming from the SACS side looking for this man up. Faber in the middle. We've got Stopforth on the left. But we've got Faber looking there and finding a firm stop from the OJ Eagles shot stopper in Dean House. We still have 2 minutes on the clock, 2 timeouts left for the SACS men. I wonder if they're going to use these.
Parking the house was Dean House, and Faber unable to score there, but Nick Walker the sniper here, and you got 2 dangerous outside shooters here, and no look pass going wayward there by Faber. Faber not happy with that. Seb now with the ball. Sniper number 7 Walker gets an ordinary foul there. Plenty time, 4 seconds, 3. Look for Faber to shoot. And an easy little block there as the OJ Eagles now have possession with 90 seconds left on the clock.
Look for OJ to control, slow it down here, use their full 30. Leave SACS with a minute to score 2 goals. That's going to be really difficult for them.
Janku Rademacher drawing a foul on the perimeter there from Nick Walker. Nick Rodder on the ball here, trying to slow it down. Finding Miguel Moraes here, who's going to take up his 5 seconds he's got left on his 30. He may shoot, he may dump it. He's gone for a shot. Unfortunately, that shot only finding the upright. If he had got that in, the game may have been well done and buried. But Niall Wheeler here up on the other side of the ball. We have 50 seconds. Niall Wheeler here, 2 balls, 3 balls, and he's got it in. We have 45 seconds on the clock. 2 timeouts left for the SACS men. 1 goal separates these two sides. Something seriously clutch could come up for the SACS men, provided the OJ aren't able to capitalize on their next attack.
Steve and I were sitting here wondering why the SACS men weren't calling that timeout. Next thing, the goal comes, and they still have those timeouts in hand at the moment. But is it a little bit too late, Stevie?
So expect OJ to use the full 30 here. That should leave SACS with 15 seconds to score the equalizing goal. With shooters like Wheeler, Faber, Jerry Wingate, Pierce in the pool, who knows, anything might be possible.
Baker initiating another drive here. The ball in possession of Nick Rodder, looking for a high ball to the Eiffel Tower! And he has found the man who walks on water, Ethan Baker. Goal number 4. He may have just cemented the gold medal here to the OJ men. We have got 2 goal difference with 20 seconds, I believe it is, left on the clock, and 2 timeouts. A timeout here called by coach player number 9, Jesse Singer, for the SACS men. Let's see if they can capitalize on this chance.
I think that might just be the OJ Eagles going back-to-back here at the Gauteng Invitational. 24 seconds, 2 goals in it. Even if they score now, OJs will just run the clock down till the game is over.
Yeah, no, I don't feel like the SACS team, unless a miracle happens, I don't know, I highly doubt it. But OJ Eagles way too experienced to make a mistake like that. But we can never count a mistake out in this sort of game. But 24 seconds left, timeout here. They're going to look to get one back onto the score sheets, and then a possible quick turnover. But I do feel like the OJ Eagles have gone back-to-back here, the double champions of 2022 and possibly 2023.
And Lwazi Muddy has joined the attack here. The OJ Eagles going to look to form a hybrid attack, probably with 4 on the bottom, so how you would structure for a man-up, and 3 on the top, how you would structure regularly for 6-on-6. So the OJ men are going to look for a man-down defense here. Josh Faber up the middle of the pool, Nick Walker on the right. This man can pin it, and he's coming up, and he's only found the hands of the blockers there. Lwazi Mari almost able to win a 5-meter there. A shot being called. Etienne Leroux, is he going to score from halfway? He's saying, maybe, why not? I'm just going to swim this up into the corner, giving us a celebration. The OJ Eagles have gone back to back, and Etienne Leroux with a Hungarian lob, getting the extra goal for the OJ men, cementing that game in favor of the OJ men, ending 18 goals to 5. What a brilliant game of polo we got to see there. Real end-to-end stuff, blow for blow. It's just unreal, really. It's so exciting. The crowd loved it. We loved it. I'm sure you at home there loved it. Anything you want, you can add to that. I don't know. It was so exciting. Just brilliant polo, both sides. Incredible displays from both teams.
Brilliant game there from both the sides there. And then, of course, Etienne Leroux getting a double goal here as his ladies won the ladies' final. And here he is, making sure that he gets another gold to his name there. And what a beautiful game that was. You are watching a It's Happening Africa production. And my name is Jason Viking Friedman. Next to me we have
Blaine Spittle, sometimes called Blaine the Spittle. I'm leaving out the T on the end of my surname. There is Mr. Viking Friedman. I don't mind anyone trying to say my name. Is at least someone saying my name. So I'll take the publicity where I can get it. But that was incredible. Thank you so much for joining us. What a privilege to commentate on such a spectacle of sport.
And of course, let's not forget our sponsors. We have Kia, movement that inspires, Mikasa, our official game ball, and Rebel Water Polo, change the game. And we'll be catching you